Hi, good morning to all of you all. Good morning to all the viewers and the participants who have taken the interest to get into this session. And I am Kannamah. So I'm sharing with you all what I've done, a little pilot study. Before that, I would like to say thank you. Thank you to IC 2020 for allowing me to present or to share this slot. Um, and thank you to you all for coming in too. So my topic, and this, for your information, this pilot research study was actually undertaken in this last few weeks, specifically to cater for phase 3 of IC 2020, because we have phase 1, 2, 3, 4. So I took slot 3 or phase 3, and this is what I have done. And I hope you will take away something from here. On top of it, I've added something else that you might also it might also be interest to you. So before, so to get you into interested, let me share my screen first. So my topic today is, or topic now is on being at home during the pandemic. This is a pilot study, and I hope it interests you again. So what you see here is, okay, so what we know is that we are already in the last month of 2020. December 3rd was International Disabled Day. Almost for 9 months, we have been going through another form of tsunami, I would say. So this tsunami has actually come in just like what tsunami did the last time, but at least tsunami, they knew what tsunami was all about, but with COVID and all, nobody knew what is this all about. But just schools were also, everybody is involved. So just as that the pupils were returning to school, currently we have another wave. So the pandemic has put many pupils in a situation never envisaged by anyone, except when the end of the year, school holidays begins. It's like the students are in the house all throughout since March. And of course, there are online classes going on, but tests and public exams have been rescheduled. So during the lockdowns, typical children would somehow manage with lots of resources in the home. What can children with impairments do or have? So, and since this is a new situation in Malaysia, we almost have nil research, and probably research have already started, it's already ongoing. So this is again another gap for this research to be conducted. Then, so the author actually is me, became interested. I became very interested to know what randomly what these students are, these children, especially with special needs, are doing at home. So I conducted this pilot study, and I used just a simple qualitative approach. A semi-structured phone interview questionnaire was formulated. I sat down to write down to find out. So main objective and the aim is to find out what people do in their house during this lockdown. So with this in mind, with the sampling and the location and people, so I called up. So I took only 5 special needs teachers because that was what I could get in this short period. And so 5 special needs teachers, 5 parents, and 5 pupils. 5 pupils, 2 girls, autistic and slow learner, and 3 boys, 2 autistic and 1 ADHD. So these teachers are from different areas, from different districts. 2 from Selangor, 2 from Kuala Lumpur, and 1 from Perak. So it's in order for me to answer the research question. So as far as literature review is concerned, I have not put here any the theoretical framework or theoretical concept. I've not put here because I really don't have much time. So I'm just straight away going to the RQs, and then we will see. So RQ1 was, what do teachers know of their own people's activity at home during the pandemic? This is what the teachers know. That is how far the teachers are involved in or what is happening in the class. So with the 5 teachers all said less than 10% of the pupils do their work. Whatever work they send to their parents, they do not get any feedback. It's all zero. So the parents print. So what actually, even the 10% of the children who submit their papers again back or the answers to their teachers, what happens is that their parents print and give their children to do. So children have lots of assistance from parents. These are words from the teachers themselves. And all 5 teachers said some parents read the messages in the WhatsApp group, but they do not do the worksheets. The children do not do the worksheets they're supposed to answer. What the teacher said is that she can read, it has been read by the parents, but in the end, there is no feedback from the parents or the children themselves. So one teacher doesn't understand why parents do not take any initiative to help people. She herself questions while conversing over the phone. She says she also herself doesn't understand. And one of the issues that she herself said is that probably it arises is because the parents go to work. It's because the parents go to work and they only go back home at night. So when they go back home at night, when they go back home at night, sorry, when they go back home at night, they are too tired. They do not use the Google Meet. And teachers do not use Google Meet, and when they're too tired, they don't print out, bring back, and let the teachers, children do. So another factor. Another answer that I got is, another data that I got from these 5 teachers is that they said it's not easy to make the children do the task. Children, it's not easy to do the task. They cannot do things on their own unless parents are there. So parents' involvement is very important. Some children can do, and some children don't even understand what is being said, because we know who the special needs children are, and especially children with learning disabilities. So for RQ2, my RQ2 was, what do the pupils do at home? So this is a question that was posed to the children themselves. These 5 children are able to speak. Some are able to speak long sentences, some short words. So nevertheless, I told the parent, please pass the phone to your child or use a speaker so that I can hear their voice. So all these answers that data analysis I've done is actually transcribed. So I just took out the important facts from there. So parents gave the cause to the children, pupils spoke to me. PU1 is child 1 said he watches TV almost all his waking hours. He watches football. He listens to news, especially the data on COVID. So this is something interesting. This is really, really interesting. This child who doesn't even know COVID, who doesn't know anything today, he can give you more and more information than I think I myself know. He's mesmerized with the data that every day he will tell his parents about this. So every day he's sitting in front of the TV waiting for COVID news. PU2, the parent pupil said, teacher gives me a lot of homework. She said, sign police. She will use the word police. And her speech is not that so good, but still managed to get. And she says, sakit tangan pernah. That's what she was telling us. Telling me, sorry. PU3 is, he has very short sentences. So he says, Amma asks me to do work. Organ. So when the mother asks him to do work, he does. And the next word he says organ. So organ is his music class. So he plays organ. The rest of the time he sleeps. PU4, warna. So this child, he was talking, saya suka warna, lukis warna. And mind game. Mind game where later you will see he plays in the YouTube. And also and tab. PU5, he does not do anything, he says. He's most of the time watching TV and playing games again, video games. So the next goes to RQ3, where what do parents say about their children at home? Now the parents themselves are talking to me over the phone. Earlier it was the teachers, the children, and now the parents. So P1, he says, he does a lot of work on Kumon. So this this sample that we got, that I got, he does a lot of Kumon work. He goes to Kumon, so he does Kumon, and he has music class. The teacher comes to his homework class. He comes, and he also does his homework. And this child does the work the teacher passes to the mother because the mother is at home. So when the mother is at home, she receives the message through WhatsApp group, and then she prints out and she gives him. So his time is almost fully occupied. He has no friends in school, so he does not chat or he doesn't communicate with anybody else. Okay. P2 said, we cannot control him, this parent. We are at work, we cannot stop him from watching TV. He's always arguing and fighting with the siblings. Being at home, being stressed, being restless, being so many things, morning to night, 24 hours for the past 6, 7 months. He doesn't want to do any exercise. Teachers do not give any work, so we need to send him to his tuition teacher's house. Sometimes he has to stay there. It's not easy. So what the mother does is the mother separates the siblings. One is being sent to the tuition teacher's house and he stays for 1 or 2 days. He comes back, and then the other sibling takes turn. So this is what is happening there. P3 says she has tuition teacher. So she has tuition teacher, therapists coming, therapists, home therapists, they are still coming to the house, and everything is back to routine. So she does not, the parents said, this is what the child is doing, and there is no intermission, or there is no break, or there's no challenge. P4 said he is doing his brother's work. So this child, the mother said, my son is doing his brother's work. So the brother gets a lot of assignments, a lot of tasks from the teacher. And this special needs child, who is actually older to him, he does that work for him. So this is what is happening. His brother is in year 1, even though our sample is in secondary school. He's in secondary school, but because it's year 1 and it's much easier. So he does the work for him. He has no work from the teacher, so he does his brother's work. Most of the time they are playing and watching videos in tab, and today he was telling me a lot of things that is happening in the YouTube, especially with new things that I really don't know also. P5, he says he's always hanging around in our shop. This boy the parents are owners of a shop. Owners of a shop, so he is there. So he helps around in the shop, cleaning, wiping, and for that the father gives him pocket money. So when he is given pocket money, he wants to do some work. And this is quite good, I think, rather than wasting our time out there. And they have cats, so he plays with the cat. But he also does not get any homework from his teacher. So he goes for to the tuition place, which is already like 3 houses away from them. And they have the SOP, I think, and he's reading and writing a bit. So that's quite interesting. That's quite interesting. And now before I conclude of what I have received, I just want to tell you about a little experience that I myself am experiencing with the special needs children during this lockdown period. And so the parents requested, say, can I help the children in this period of time? So what I've been doing with them is online exercise movements. Online exercise movements are very simple movements that I do, just like sitting here, just like doing, these things. And in Tamil, we call it Topakaran. So there are more exercises. Every week I've been doing many exercises. It's a long list of exercises that we are doing. And then we have online simple speech training. I'm not a speech therapist, but because I work with these children for many years, so I know a little bit on how to allow them to train on their oral motor. So things like I just basic A, E, I, O, U, playing about the jaw, the mouth, and all. Online art. Art is, after you will see, so that was very interesting, very something that I found out now. And then the other one is online story writing. Online story writing also started in the center. Well, halfway through when I was starting teaching, then I saw something different. So I realized that these children were really interested and they were really happy rather than not doing anything, I think. So So this is some of the things that I have done. You can see a picture here. You can see this is the initial part that I started off with, and this is the color pencil coloring. You can see, and the left is my work, a very simple work. On the right is the child's work. So you see the difference. So this indicates that the understanding of what is happening on the other side and whether really online is really helping or not. And this is, when I started asking them to draw, this is what I got. This was very interesting. I really found this very interesting. Now I'm interpreting all these artwork as I have, of course, I have done play therapy, I've done art therapy and all. And so this is another piece of work that you can see, basics. So I started off with crayon, color pencil. Now I realized that these children, some of them um, not even done anything with paint and brush. That was quite interesting. And so I said, okay, let's start with uh, paint and brush. But it was also a very difficult task. So this is what is happening. Can you see the differences from the left and the right? And this is the work. This is the writing that this boy was able to do. And he was doing it in the 6 months. That was a quite tremendous achievement that I saw here. Uh, so all in all, this is what I did, and this is the research part. So in the research part, now this discussion and conclusion is for the pilot research, but nothing to do with the work that I showed you now. So what we saw is a mixed activity among the 5 families, and people's children, especially, can fend for themselves, and then it's easier for them to do whatever exercises they get. But some cannot due to many factors. And the basic thing that I really saw is that they can't even hold a brush. They can't even hold a brush and the brush bristles. What can you do? How much of thing that you can do with the bristles? So that is one. Another thing that I would like to discuss here is giving a lot of work to people who are slow learners brings about a question. Do they really understand what they're doing? So we have to be really careful on what we give, especially during online. So parents, we will just allow our children to do whatever the teachers allow them to do. And as long as they are occupied, it is okay and it is all right as long as there's no promotion or there's no, they are occupied, they are happy. The most important part, I think, is happiness among the children. There's no stress. So, but in the process that I was also doing, I found that from the 5 parents, one parent had to borrow a laptop to allow the child to do his work. So now he had to save money to buy one laptop. And the same thing happened to another parent. One laptop, 3 children, one handphone, 3 children. So it was a lot of stress going on in the house. And they're all saving up money to buy laptops now, extra laptops and desktops for the children. So the conclusion is that this is what the children are doing and what they are and how much the challenges that they are facing, and whether if I use the word stress, it's also going to be very subjective because some of them might be okay staying at home and doing whatever you want, or some are being stressed, they're not able to see, not able to meet their friends, not able to meet their teachers, and not able to do a lot of things. So here is the conclusion that it is important that we keep in touch with these children, and then our work must also be um, interesting. So the 3 factors, I did manual coding. So when I looked at the transcript, so one is the attitude itself, attitude of the teachers, the parents, and the children themselves, all 3. So the word I would like to use attitude. And the second one is the parents' involvement. To what extent parents are involved in helping their child do the tasks that the teachers give them. And the third one is there a necessity for this to be conducted? Is there a necessity for them to do it at home? So at secondary level, this is what happens. So parent involvement is very important and will at least if we put it into a balance, at least 50% of the learning objective written by the teacher will be accomplished, or she'll be able to, or the teacher will be able to see 50% of the learning objective for that child is carried out. So, but thirdly, that is that working at home, we have limited resources, but a lot of time. This is the time that it's the 24 hours here in the house, and 10 hours goes for your sleeping hours. The rest of the time you're at home, the children are at home. So we have to look into it again. Should probably, whatever work they do, should probably bring changes in them. So changes in them is a step. It's the step towards their development. It's a step towards their maturity. It's their step towards adulthood, transcend, go back to an adulthood. I hope I have given some insight into what is happening. Of course, you yourself as a parent, you yourself as a teacher, you also would have seen that. But this is just a simple data from 5 families. Whatever it is, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Stay home. Stay safe. Bye. Thank you again.